Hello everyone. Today we are going to be talking about something that's uh, more of a technique used in both programming and in natural language processing. So we'll be exploring the context-free grammar for any Indian languages that we are using. So what is CFG? It's a type of formal grammar that helps us to define the structure of a sentence. Think of it as a set of rules that determine how we can form valid sentences of a language. So you might be familiar with CFG if you have come across compiler design or any other programming where the programming language is converted into CFG and then converted into a low level machine code. So it is equally important in NLP. That is how computers understand human language and generates. So this concept of CFG was introduced by Noam Chomsky in 1950s to explain human languages, and it soon became essential for computer languages too. So, as we are talking about CFG, it's a type of grammar describing the syntax of a language, both programming and natural languages that we use, consisting of production rules. These production rules are essential instructions on how sentence in a language can be formed. Think of it as an structure of a language, subject, verb, object. So we know that in English we use subject, verb, and adjunct or something like that. So same like that, we will create production rules for any type of languages. These you include non-terminal symbols and terminal symbols. We will talk about it in the later slides. So CFG in linguistics, we are talking about it helps to parse the sentences in a language and understand the structure of a language. For example, if you have a sentence like the cat drinks milk, CFG breaks it into chunks and analyzes the relationship between them. What is cat and why there's a drinks and what is the meaning of milk. So did you know this same process happens in your browser every time you load a web page? CFG are used in HTML parsing, ensuring that your browser knows how to display a web page properly. So in this HTML tags were be using context-free grammar to load this web page. So overview of Indian languages. India boasts a diverse linguistic heritage with languages belong to various families such as Indo-Aryan and Dravidian. So these diverse features uh, can be a problem in converting machine, maybe machine translation or converting natural languages or in natural generation, language generation. So there are different structures in order for any Indian languages. Subject object verb is common for language like Hindi and Tamil with word order variations influencing the formation of CFG rules. So for each Indian language there are different dialects and these can have different type of structures like as we are talking about subject object verb structure. Even in Kannada it uses subject object verb where Bengali uses subject verb object. We will talk about it in next slide. So, for example, if a sentence is given like Ram eats an apple and the girl reads a book, we can generate a production loop like subject, noun phrase, and verb phrase. The NP represents noun phrase and VP represents verb phrase, and this can be applied again. The noun phrase can be of made up of noun or with an adjunct or pronoun, and these production rules are written based on the structure of a given sentence, and from this production rule we can recreate this sentence. So steps to create a CFG question: understand the language structure. First step to understand the structure of a language you are working with. Every language has its own way of arranging verbs, nouns, and other elements. For instance, in some Indian languages like Tamil and Hindi, the subject usually comes first, followed by the object and then the verb. Understanding this basic feature is crucial. So select example sentences. Next, select one or more example sentences. Like we saw before, there were two sentences. Should select these sentences should reflect the typical grammar of the language. For example, in Tamil, you might choose a sentence like Uh, he reads a book. அவன் புத்தகம் படிக்கின்றான். So this is a sentence. You need a extra more two or more sentences to create some production rules that can use it to create new Tamil sentences. So identify key components. So now break down the example sentences into key components. Identify the noun phrase, verb phrase, and other parts. So create production rules. As we are talking about identifying key components and selecting the example sentence, we can easily identify production rules, and we can write production rules for each part of the sentence. We can identify pronouns by key components. We can identify pronouns, noun phrase, verb phrase, and verb subject, everything. So next, finally, we will formulate the question. Finally, use the rules to formulate the CFG question. Present the production rules and ask the user to either generate sentence based on the rules or break down a sentence into its components. For instance, you can ask, give the following production rules, derive the sentence. He reads a book. So, by following these steps, you can create meaningful and educational CFG questions for any language. A common type of method used to recreate a CFG or create a CFG is parse tree. These parse trees are essential not only in the context of CFG but also in NLP. So this parse tree uses production rules, and based on these production rules, they draw tree-like structure. So as you can see, there is a subject, and it is derived into noun phrase and verb phrase, and again the noun phrase is derived into adjective and noun, and the verb phrase is derived into verb and noun phrase. So by doing so, you can recreate the sentence in a simple way from the production rules using the parse tree. There are other methods to derive a sentence from the production rules. The most common and easy way to do this using parse tree. You can draw parse tree for not only English but also any other language. Maybe it is an Indian language or any other foreign languages. So we'll talk about creating the question in Tamil. So formulate the question in first. So the task is used to provide the CFG rules to relay the sentence. Start with the symbol S and apply production rules to expand it into the target sentence. Graphically, use the parse tree to visually illustrate the structure and how the CFG rules are applied. As you can see, there are two sentences in the left side. பூனை பால் குடிக்கிறது. The cat drinks milk. அவன் புத்தகம் படிக்கிறான். He reads a book. So I have given the words and meaning of the word in the side. You can see that. So the first production rule is subject, noun phrase, verb phrase. Noun phrase is again translated into noun or pronoun, and verb phrase is translated into verb or noun phrase or verb plainly. So there are three nouns: the cat, milk, and book. These are nouns. The pronoun is given as he, and verb is given as drinking and reading. Adjunct is given as good. So from these rules, you can derive either using parse tree, or you can rewrite the production rules into forming a complete sentence. For also Hindi, we can use the same concept. There's nothing much difference. Only the language meaning is different. So same like Tamil, this also follows a subject object verb model. So Ram सेब खाता है, लड़की किताब पढ़ती है. So the girl reads a book, the Ram eats an apple. So production rules are given below as for the same. So we have noun, verb, adjunct, and verb phrase, noun phrase. Same like English, we can from given from the production rules, you can draw a parse tree. You can recreate the sentence. So adapting CFG for other Indian languages, modifying the production rules based on I have told there is an subject object verb model for Hindi and Tamil, so that the production rules were kind of similar. So it is not same for all other languages. There are other languages like Bengali, Tulu, and there are dialects of these languages that follow different structure. So we have to adapt the production rules based on the syntax of the target language, taking into the account of word order, inflectional endings, maybe the case markers that are unique to each language. Maybe the slang dialect varies, so we should take care into that. Maybe it may not be possible for some languages to create a context-free grammar. For example, Bengali follows a subject-verb order, while Kannada follows subject-object-verb order. So, in conclusion, we have covered how CFG works, how it can be applied to Indian languages like Tamil, Hindi through production rules. We also saw the many places where CFG is used, from natural language processing to programming languages, even in the compilers that run our code. It is essential in both linguistics and computer science. So, thank you for your attention, and I'd be happy to answer any questions you might have in the comment section. So there's a fun fact I got to understand from CFG. There is a similar concept called context sensitive grammar. CFG is powerful for natural languages, but still there are languages that can be used converted into CFGs. Those advanced systems require context sensitive grammars. This is an kind of similar, but it's an advanced level of CFG.